Mega Man 1, Dr. Wily's Revenge, is a perfect example of all games being fucking bullshit. For my 100 game challenge, I recently beat Mega Man 1 on the Game Boy Color, on the Nintendo Switch emulator thing, the Game Boy Color version, that whole like piss, like Sprite lemon lime color, Game Boy Color, Mega Man 1, okay? It was pain. So it's time for a Mega Man 1 review. So I know that Mega Man is very iconic. He's in Smash. He has a very long running successful franchise. I get it. But it's hard for me to imagine people playing this game back then when it came out and having a good time. Like, it is so genuinely frustrating. The game is just really hard. Like, there are just so many enemies. On the Game Boy Color version, you can't crouch and shoot. Like, there's literally only two buttons. It's just jump and shoot. That's it. That's it. Just two buttons. You just jump and shoot. That's it. So it's just so limited. You barely do anything. Like, the game is so bare bones, so basic, so simple, and it's just nothing to it at all, except just enemies having insane amount of health, being placed in the most devious spot, literally like climbing ladders. They have shields, they come from the ground, they come from the ceiling, and you can only get hit like 2 or 3 times and you're fucking dead. And you just don't have any options. There's no defensive options. You can't crouch, you can't slide like in the first game. Like, there's just nothing to it, and you just end up getting royally fucked. And I know Mega Man, like many other games like Sonic and Mario and, a lot of games back then, they definitely improved over time. In the first game, they were, very basic, and, they add a lot of these features later on in the games. But then it just makes the original game just look and feel so bad. And this is no different. I just feel like Mega Man 1 is just a super frustrating, super hard, just really bullshit time. And I have this is my first experience playing Mega Man, so I don't have any nostalgia, or I don't have any other experience. Like, I've seen future Mega Man games, I've seen other people play it, so I know like what is to come when I eventually get there. But going back and playing the original, it is rough. It is like there's just nothing to it except just bullshit. Genuinely an extremely hard game. Like, this game is genuinely hard. I think this was harder than Sonic 1 and 2. Like, this is like really, really hard. And I don't know if people back then thought it was hard. I don't know if people back then just they didn't have anything else to compare it to. That was just the default difficulty level of games. And I will always say that gamers back then were just built different, bro. Like, gamers back then were just so built different. They had to play hard ass games like this with no like memory card or anything like that. They had to just fucking beat it in one sitting, in one go, leaving their system on all day, and they would just beat it. Like, they were just gamers back then were just goated, and gamers now, including myself, just we're not built to fucking beat games like this. Like, this game is fucking tough, man. It's fucking hard. I would give Mega Man 1 a 2 or 3 out of 10. This was an excruciating, painful time. I see the vision. I see the fact that Mega Man could and should get better. But at its roots, man, that was pain. It genuinely made me feel like I was an inferior gamer to the gamers that came before me. That was my takeaway of this game. Like, this was yikes. Wouldn't recommend out of 10.